Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So I have a couple orders and something new today. So anytime I do like orders that are the same, kind of the same, I mean embellishments are going to be a little different, I try to add something new to the mix so you don't get bored, those of you who have already seen them done. So I've got Elizabeth, a unicorn, who also wants the Heaven's Dust in there. Of course the mane and the tail will be different than the others. I have Rita, who wants the Highland Cow. Now Rita is the one who sent me the Highland Cow in order to make the mold, and it was like a clay piece, so I molded it, made it, and she loved it. And I am making this for her as a gift because not only did she send me the piece, but she also was one of the admins. Well, I made her an admin. She asked to help me clear out my old Facebook group and help me with the new one. So I was like, I took her up on the offer. So we got to talk on the phone, whatever, and she's a really sweet person, and she has helped me tremendously through that stage of my life for like a week. So thank you so much, Rita. This one's for you. You are not paying for this. No way at all. So since I've done these two before and they are kind of going to be close to what I've done, I have this mold that Donna and I made quite a while ago, and I did cast it once, and the casting came out absolutely horrendous, and I said, oh, I'm not going to sell that mold. There's like marks all over that piece. Well, I happened to come across the original piece the other day when I was cleaning out the mold making room, and I was looking at the original piece, and I was like, there are no flaws on this piece. Why did that starfish have so many horrible flaws on it? So we remolded it and it came out really well. So I'm going to do this one again, and if it comes out good, I don't see why it wouldn't come out good. It's like partial matte, partial shiny. But the other one had all these weird drips all over it, and I was really surprised that I purchased the piece because it was made of glass. I'm like, I would have seen all that. So they weren't on the original piece. So I don't know what happened to that one. I didn't even think about it twice. I just chucked it and said I'm not doing it, but ended up keeping the original piece. So that's what this one, we just made this one again. I want to test something. So we've been messing around with the glue and the marbling, right? I want to test marbling with alcohol inks and glue. So if you can't really marble with alcohol inks because they kind of make their own color, right? So if we put glue in the colors, are they going to still combine and make a muddy mess? That is my question. We're going to do that in here. This one only holds 2 ounces. So we're going to do 3 different colors: purple, berry, and cerulean in that one. For, you know what the unicorn is. And then this one, I'm actually going to get started. I'm using Buttercream and Haley's Comet, both by Diane Kapoor's. I'm still waiting for my shipment. And we're going to be doing some new colors from her. So I'm going to do this basically the same way that I did the first one on the video. And I took this buttercream color with a paintbrush for highlights in the fur. And I just randomly, no rhyme or reason, didn't go over the whole thing. Because like I said, I only wanted highlights. And it worked. And it was very pretty. It actually made it shimmer and shine in a matte mold. And then I filled it with the Haley's Comet. Now this one took 7 ounces. I think that unicorn is about 5.5 to 6 ounces. And then 2 ounces for that other one. And that's what we're going to do. So that's basically all I'm going to do for highlights. I just splotched it in there. No really reason of where I put it or why I put it there. So that's it. So now I just need to mix up some I'm going to mix up the 1:1 normal epoxy, and then I think I'll do it all at one time and test myself and see how quickly I can work. I just had a little bit of powder just sitting there. Okay, that looks good. Let me wipe my surface and grab some resin.
Brushes in hand and the world is my stage.
I think I have everything straight. I did add a shaker turtle to the mix, another purple shaker turtle, so I am doing that. So this one is going to be for the cow. This is Haley's Comet, which is a gorgeous shimmering brownish reddish color. So I want plenty of that. That's gonna look beautiful underneath those buttercream highlights. And then I am going to put glue in the Heaven's Dust like I did last time, just because when I add that much glitter, I am afraid it's gonna sink. So if you don't know, I get questions all the time because new people come in all the time, and I'm so happy to have them. Glue, Elmer's glue, if you add 1 drop per ounce to your resin, if it's your normal epoxy resin put it that way, it will suspend your glitter in your resin while it's curing, so it doesn't all sink to like the bottom of the mold, which is usually the top of the mold. So that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna make sure it's all mixed before I put it aside. This one is the Heaven's Dust. Let me set that there while I'm doing this. Like I said, I'm gonna douse this with glitter and then put glue, and then I'm going to, I have to split it because it will never release all the bubbles in the vacuum chamber without splitting this. Every single unicorn I've done has been in this glitter. Everybody's like in love with this unicorn with this glitter. I'm gonna do a little bit more, and then I'm gonna add 6 drops of glue, and then I'll split it between this cup and another larger cup. That is gorgeous. All right, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's gonna turn into a big, huge glue ball, like a gel ball. So if you were to pour this right now, you would have to slice it to stop it from pouring, which I'm going to pour right now. I'm gonna put most of it in this taller cup. This way, when it goes through the vacuum chamber, it can release all the bubbles. If you don't get those bubbles released, it's not going to be a very beautiful finish because you're going to see all those micro bubbles in there. Okay, that is that one. Let me trying to stir all these as fast as I can because I have so many to do. This is just the little purple shaker. Little tiny amount. I don't know if I'm going to finish this one today. This one needs 2 pours, or I could do it with UV resin, I guess, because I want to clear back. So I can't fill it all the way up right now to cure with the rest of everything else. So that one's done. And then these are for the alcohol inks, which will go in those cups too, because I do, like I said, want to try this with glue. Let's try a few drops. I want them transparent, yet still have color. Of course, with a black glove in the background, it looks really, really dark, but it's not. As you can see on my stick, it's pretty light. And I really want it darker so we can actually see if my idea is gonna work. That's darker, that's better. Let me just put 1 drop of glue in. 1. And there it's seized up. But I can't put this in the vacuum chamber. It is way too small, so I'm just going to dump it into this cup here. This way it has plenty of room to expand and let all those bubbles out. Now purple, you got to be careful with purple alcohol inks, you guys. I only use the purple from Let's Resin, and I have several brands in I might as well just get rid of them, but they turn different colors. So the only one that I found that does not turn pink in your resin is the Let's Resin brand. So be careful with your purples, because I was very disappointed. And I learned that on a order too. She wanted purple quite some time ago, and I put it in and it kind of looked like this, and I'm like, that is not purple. So yeah, be careful with your purples. That looks pretty good. Maybe 2 more drops. This one is from Pixis. Every time I go to link it lately, they don't have the pink package anymore. So I don't know if they're gonna restock it. I'm still putting the link in because they have the other packages, the blues and I don't know, whatever other colors they have. But pink one's not in there anymore for some reason. So I don't know if they're just sold out or if they discontinued the pinks for some reason. And there's the gloopy mess of the pink. I'm trying to hurry. I mean, we have 40 minutes, but I got a lot going on here today. Just want to make sure I got that all stirred in. And then the blue. Cerulean, I don't know. I like these colors together. I don't know why I always choose these colors when I want to marble something most of the time if it's up to me. There we go. Good enough. 1 drop. This isn't quite an ounce, so that 1 drop is quite a lot. Because this is about 3/4 of an ounce in here. I'm very anxious to see if this is going to turn brown or if we're going to have our colors. All right, that looks good. Let me check all my powders, make sure none of the powders started floating. That's good. That's good. All right, be at the vacuum chamber in 1 second.
Michelle and Dawn, I'm across the pond in the UK is where I stay. I watch you daily with my cat Bailey, and I laugh at Dawn as he sings those songs. You cheer me up when I can't get up, and you make me smile through all my trials. Please don't ever go, I'll miss you so, cause no one is wittier than glitz and glitter.
They all didn't fit in there, so I got my big one in the Let's Resin bubble remover behind me. So I'm going to go ahead and pour these while we wait for that one. I'm going to do my little turtle here so I can move him out of the way. I don't even need him on the table. I'm just going to fill in his head, his feet, and right around this shell. I poured this yesterday for an order. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I wasn't happy I scratched the belly when I was trimming it, so I didn't want to give her a scratched one. So I'm just going to re-pour it for her. And that's it. Of course I have extra because that doesn't take very much. Let's do the unicorn so I can pay attention to what I'm going to be doing here. Let's get that down in the horn down there. I'm just going to put a little bit and slice it off, like I said. Get that squashed down in the horn. So far, every horn has come out good. And fill it up. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous color. I have it in stock right now. It does sell fast. I also have the Paradiso, which is the sister glitter that has the chunky. It's a chunky medium mix instead of this fine mix. Same color though. All right, let me get all that out. We don't want to waste any of it. There we go. And I do prop, even though this one's never tipped over, this one, it's so thin. I do like to prop it up on each side. When I push it back, I'll get a couple of jars. Looks like I'm going to have extra of this too. I'll make something gorgeous out of that. Let me set this aside. I'm going to push it back after I Spritz those bubbles out of it. And don't use plastic jars on your heat mat, guys. Last time I did it, my plastic jar kind of melted a little bit. Thank God it didn't leak my glitter everywhere. Okay, what does that have? 2 minutes left on there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. So you can't really marble in something that's like angled like this. So I think what I'm going to do, let me wipe this stick off first. I think I'm just going to like pour it in sections. Oh gosh, this is really thick. Because it's going to drain right down. And then this one, well, I guess we're gonna just pour it like this. Like I said, this is a weird shaped mold, so I just want to make sure colors are getting next to each other to see if we're gonna see them or if it's going to turn brown. Because of what we're doing here. Let's put this over here. So I guess I am stacking them kind of, but like I said, it's a weird shape. It's not flat. And then we're gonna do, oh, my mica powder's ready. Let's do that. And then the purple. And even though it's not, I don't know if it's completely full because I didn't accurately measure this one, it'll still give us an idea. I wonder what it would look like if I put some of that Heaven's Dust in here, since it has glue as well. This might be pretty. I could have just totally screwed up our experiment though. It might just sit on the back and give us a shimmer through because of the glue, because it's not sinking at all. Let's just leave it like that. Well, it is what it is. I'm not gonna mix it. I don't wanna mix it. So that's done, 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 done. Let me go grab the resin. I'm gonna spritz this a little bit. He's got a lot of fur in there, and I like to coat this one. Plus he's got a couple of horns. Last time I did this, I saw some bubbles popping out, so I'm kind of thinking they were coming from the horns. Just like to coat all that fur. There's so many grooves. She wants that, the little hat that I put on it last time with the feather. Everybody loves that hat. I have a few left. So since the hat she picked was, I only have blue and pink, I think, and red left. She picked the blue one, so I think I'll do all the embellishments to go with that blue hat. I don't want to fill this all the way up. That's good. Knock any bubbles out possibly, but I don't think there will be any. That's good. I'm gonna find some stuff. Let me find some extra molds. Let's do these little rocks that I got in Happy Mail from Fanny recently. We're going to do the Haley's Comet. These might hold a lot. Oh yeah, I need a lot more than that. I should have marbled my colors together. Now it's just going to look layered. I should have measured these, but I didn't. So I can't do 2, so I guess I'm going to add this to it and try to mix it as best I can. But we got glue in with no glue, so that's going to be one pretty rock. All right, fill it up and try it again. There we go. I still have a little bit left, but not a lot. So if you need rocks for any kind of like resin scene or just to make those rocks that people hand paint, you know, or you could use your Cricut, put a word on there and hide them in your garden or wherever you hide them around town. All right, I can't do that one. What do I have left? I have a little purple and a little bit of Heaven's Dust. Trying to find a shiny mold here. Let's do one of my flowers. And we're just gonna stack it. I'm gonna start with the purple because there's no glue in that. I'm just gonna swirl that around, get these bubbles out. And put a little bit of the dust in. I hope I have enough to fill this. This should be pretty. It's a shiny mold. But the glue is the only thing on this one that I don't know if it's going to work or not. So I'm not going to be surprised if it doesn't work. That's done. And there. I don't have much left. Maybe a couple of my water ripple pendants, but I could do that. I'll do that later. I got a bubble right there in the center. Gotcha. Oh, look at this. It sunk. My glitter. Look at that. It sunk. But look at the colors. Oh, that might be interesting. Huh. I'm interested to see what that looks like now. I'm gonna pop those bubbles. Everything else looks great. That's it. I will see you guys on Demold. All right, it's time to unmold. I did unmold the 2 little heart pendants. Aren't they gorgeous in that glitter? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I just glued on the flatback bail. And I did finish this. I put clear UV resin on the back of the turtle. So this way, this one will be so much prettier than the other one. There's no trimming needed because I over poured the last one. Then I had to trim around everything and I wasn't too happy with that. So this one just has one little tiny piece right there that I just got off. So there's a turtle, and then we'll fill that with the pink little glass beads like I did yesterday. I poured, this one was with the 2 different colors, the purple and the glitter. Oh, look at all that glitter sank. It was heavy with all that glue in there. So there is that beautiful little flower. And here's the first time I've made this one. This is that little rock with the 2 colors in it, which I'm sure all the glitter sank, of course, I bet. Because I didn't have, yeah, see, the glitter sank, but cool nonetheless. Maybe I'll print something out I'm not a rock painter. I don't paint. I can't paint very well. So I might use my Cricut or take a sticker and put it over there. And then, yeah, we'll give this away to somebody who can then either keep it or hide it for somebody else to find. So let's check this one out. I can't wait any longer. So it doesn't look like it melded together to make brown, but when I was like last night, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I did all that, and this is a mostly matte mold, so we're probably not going to see the colors. Oh, all that glitter sunk. But actually, I knew that mold was, something was up with the other one. So this mold is good. Everything is smooth. I just shouldn't have put that glitter in, but I did, and that kind of messed it up. I don't think this was the right shaped mold to try that, but they did not make brown. You can clearly see where the pink is, the purple. I did lose some of the blue. We're gonna have to do this again in a different mold, like in a flatter mold. That way it doesn't have, so it's not like sinking to the top. So, I'm so glad this mold looks pretty good. And it's not that matte, actually. It's pretty, this is the shiniest parts of it down these edges. And then all these are like semi-shiny. So that's, of course, it's not a beautiful piece, but I'm happy to see that the mold is going to be fine. So we will go ahead and add that one to the store. I don't know what happened the first time. All right, let's get this one out. We got some blinging up to do of both of these. This is fully cured and fully cooled, so there shouldn't be any problems getting this out, the horn and all. I am going to spray a little bit of alcohol down in there, because it does like to get stuck in this head. Now it should come out pretty easily. I hope. There we go. The alcohol always does the trick, and it is just as gorgeous as it always is. Look at that heaven's dust. And there's a bubble on every single one of the unicorn's chins. Every single one I've ever made, there is a bubble there. I don't know how to avoid that. The glue doesn't help in there, but I would rather have the glue than no bubble, because you'll never see the bubble anyway. But that looks really good. All right, let's get this baby out. I think I'm gonna pull, there are horns on the top of the head, that, so don't demold this if it is not fully cooled down, or you'll pull those horns right off his head. Hang on. We used a harder silicone on mine. This was the first one we made. So now if you purchase the mold, we use a softer silicone, because it was, this 15A is a little bit too dense for this character. So that's why it's hard for me. It won't be hard for you. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to get it out. His head is much bigger than his neck, which is part of the problem. Here he comes. Oh, all right, there he is. All right, let's see. Okay, he's got his highlights, his little happy face. He's adorable. Did I see a piece of glitter? No. Okay, so on the last one, I took some acrylic paint, and I'm just gonna go over, give him a third dimension. I'm going to trim all these edges off of everything on the sander and grinder tool that I have. And let me get a few things prepared to finish everything, and then we'll get going. Let's finish this stuff up. So I made a little shell for his back. I got the little beads back out. I'm just gonna fill up the back with these little glass beads. Not too many, because it won't shake at that point. So let me just test it. It still shakes. You could see them from behind. That's why I like that clear side. I did use UV resin for the back side. just so I can get it done. Let's see, I need the B7000. I'm just gonna go around that inner rim. Not the whole rim, because you don't need much. I'm just gonna go on a couple little spots, because I don't want it to like come out and go all over those little beads. I'm just gonna pop that in there. It snapped in earlier. Maybe it snapped in and I don't know it. Or maybe it needs a trim. Well, it's not coming off. So we're just gonna let that sit. I probably shouldn't have shaken it, but I did. I don't think I ruined anything. I trimmed the backs of everything on the sander grinder thing quickly. I love that thing. I'm just gonna put a dot of glue on this and put a magnet on the back. I'm not gonna, this one isn't like gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous that I would want to make a bag tag or a keychain out of it. So I'm just gonna throw a magnet on the back. I mean, it's okay. It's not the best, but you know, we're just gonna do that. Let's see, what do I want to work on first? Let's do the cow first. It's a little bit simpler, and then I'll save the unicorn for last. So what I usually do, I put a finger cot on my finger, and I'm gonna paint a little bit on texture on the fur part. So I just have this acrylic, it's called Rich Espresso, and I just take some paint and I just dab it all over the high spots, and that's it. I don't do anything special. I don't paint with a brush because I'm not an artist as far as painting artists go. So I just kind of highlight, and it's random, just like nature. Isn't that cute? Just, you know, all over his front, his side. I am covering some of the highlights that I put in, but it's okay. This is a third dimension. A little bit on his cheeks, nose, which I'm gonna paint anyway. She liked the one I made originally, so I'm gonna try to keep it as close to that as possible. And this stuff dries really quick, so that's all I'm gonna do with that. Then I'm gonna finish it out. So I pulled out these brand new Happy Mail acrylic markers, and I tested it on the eye to see if it was going to cover, and it was covering. Look at that. Oh, let me get that off the horn. I don't want that there. In fact, I want to hold it with this one. So I'm going to just start with the eyes, and these are not oil based, these are acrylic. And these are the first acrylic white markers that are actually covering. I'll probably need another coat, which I do 2 coats anyway. I just paint the whites in, and then I go back when they're dry. I'm used to it being oil, and it takes a while. So that's why I always start with the eyes, so the oil paint can dry. But this is probably going to dry really quickly. That's that. And then I pulled out the gold marker acrylic. This is metallic, and I just painted on his feet, all of his hooves and his horns, and I think around his mouth. I can't remember, I'd have to go look at the picture again. But when somebody likes something, I try to keep it as close to the one that they liked as possible. The only thing on this one is I only had a certain amount of those little hats, so she did have to choose another little color, so she chose the blue one. I think I like this gold a little bit better. This is from the new package that I received, this gold one. And it's more gold than the other one was, a little brownish gold. So just paint their little hooves, and then his horns, and I'll save his eyes for last. Again, like I said, I just want to do 2 coats of the white so you can't see the little brown mica powder behind the eyes. And I think I did his face. And I'll probably go in his little nose with black. And then his mouth with black. And you can always go over it as many times as you need to until it covers completely. Now sometimes when you have bubbles, like there's a couple bubbles in his mouth, if you go back over it, the paint generally will fill them in and then you'll never see them. These are really, really teeny tiny bubbles, so they're really not that bad. So that's good. Oh, his horns, I forgot his horns. Oh, look at that, I have a bubble on his, I gotta build that up with UV resin. So I'm just gonna take a little dot of UV resin, put it on my table here, trying not to touch it. Get yourself a UV light and a scribe. I didn't notice that before, so I'm just gonna drop a drip into that hole. Let me wipe that off. And do that a couple of times until you build up that little hook part or that rounded part on the top. I didn't notice that. And then once you build it up, you can paint it and you'll never know that there was a hole there. But you need a few drops. But I just do one drop at a time, cure it, so it's not like gonna slide over the edge while it waits. That's 2 drops, might do it on this one. I think it might. I don't see any other bubbles that need to be filled or anything on him, so that's good. I pulled out a black and white bow for his hind end like I did before, and I've got the hat out. Let me just make sure that's cured. Looks good. Here's the little hat. Isn't it adorable? There's a little clip on the bottom, but I have to cut that off, and it takes some work to do that. So I think that should be good. I'm just going to cure this on my table so it doesn't get on anything. So just light it up on your table and it'll harden, and then you don't have to worry about it. So let's do his, whoops, these are dual-sided markers. I like the big side. It's softer and it kind of moves with your piece. I'm just wanting to match it. And again, you can do a couple coats if you want to. This doesn't look like it needs 2 coats, but I generally do it anyway. Paint over that UV resin, and you can barely tell it was there. There's that. Oh, look at that, a little bubble right there. Let me see if I paint that one. That one's kind of on the side. Tiny little one. Can't really tell though. I don't know. Not sure if I need to fill it or just paint it. So that looks good. I'm gonna go over the whites of the eyes again with the small tip. Just make sure the first layer is dry. That looks much better with the second layer. Cute. Let's see. I wanted black. What did I do with my black? Oh, I pulled out the new black. They came with black and white in that set. So let's see if this is thin enough. Yep. To get into his little nose and his mouth. There we go. And the eyes look pretty dry, so I'm just going to draw the pupils in. I I did pull eyelashes out, really small ones. Just bring them to life. Try to make sure they're even on both sides though. I have to fix the white on that other one. And then put a little dot of white right there. So for the eyelashes, what I did, I have these little eyelashes pieces. I need some tweezers. I'm going to put them right here on this corner edge. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue, because those do not have any glue on them. Put it right there on the eye. Just a little bit, just enough to hold them. And then let me get these little ones. Come on. And make sure they go the right way. Come on, get off my tweezers. There we go. And that glue needs to dry, and it should hold them in place. It's very difficult sometimes in the mail, so I do try to package these extra special with room around their face so the eyelashes don't get smashed. But I don't know, a couple times it didn't work out for me very well. This one. It looks so cute with the eyelashes. There! Oh my god, isn't she adorable? Can you see them? So those need to cure really well, and if you have to, put another bead of glue behind them later. Let's just get her hat on. Now for the hat and the bow, so the bow I'm gonna put right back here. I typically use E6000 and then tack it in with a little bit of UV resin just to hold it until that E6000 is dry. But I think I'm just gonna let her sit over here with the hat since I have to work on the unicorn. I just go right around this rim with some glue, place it on her head, and set her aside. So we're gonna set that right there. Something on her hat. She's so cute. Fix the bow. And there's the hat. I don't want to and there's her face. So we're just going to set this aside while that glue is drying, and then I will still tack those two edges down with a dot of UV resin, but I don't want to do that yet. And I moved this around a little too much. Okay, now I need to just move her until she's all dry. All right, so for the unicorn, I'm going to do, she wanted pink, blue, and yellow hair. I don't have a yellow pen, but I have the pink and blue. I'm thinking silver would be good for the horn and the feet. The eyes, let me see, I need something smaller than those acrylic pens. So I'm thinking, trying to find my little tiny Sharpie. Here it is. Oh, I did want to put some white in the eyes of this one. This one is really difficult to see. And I'm basically guessing when I do this. It's really, really hard. But I do have a little bit of room for the whites. It may not be hard to see if you had just a color, But because I always have glitter on this one, it's really difficult for me to find the eyes. So I just put a little whites in there. Then I have this really fine tip Sharpie. And I did go around the mouth before, but we've got that bubble, so I'm gonna go right in front of it. And then do a center eye. And I'll probably go over the black. They're just so small. Try to make sure they're the same size. And then for the hair, I'm thinking blue and pink, and then yellow rhinestones. I don't know. Then I'll do the silver last. So let me just draw the hair on real quick so you don't have to wait and watch and me change and all that. So I'll draw the hair on and do the rhinestones, because that's going to take me a while, and then we'll be right back. I got everything done. I let everything dry before I handle it. Here's the rock. So all I did was take a butterfly sticker and put that on there. So that looks pretty cool. I just didn't have the time to get my Cricut out, and I didn't have any stickers with any wording on it that would fit. So I grabbed a sticker really quick and put that on there. So that's that. Just put a magnet on that. No big deal. Didn't do anything to that because that's not looking so beautiful. I think I might put gemstones all over this and make a crystal version of this one and maybe do a double mold for the store. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I think I might do that. Here's the unicorn. I put a yellow brooch. She wanted blue, pink, and yellow for the hair. So you might have seen in the beginning of the fast forward, I tried to do blue and pink in the hair. First of all, I picked the wrong blue color. It was way too bright. When I added the pink, it started turning purple, took it all off, chose a different color blue that went with the glitter, and then I took pink and yellow stones for the hair instead of trying to draw blue, pink, and yellow. There's no way it was going to work. My blue and yellow would have turned green, and my blue and pink was going to turn purple, so I couldn't do it that way. So I put them on the tail. I put a bow here with a little rhinestone. I painted the feet and the horn with the silver, and then I went around the horn like I did the last time, but this time I went around with the pink rhinestones. So that is the first one for Elizabeth's order. Elizabeth has lots on order, but I need to spread that out on a few days. Here is the gorgeous little Highland cow for Rita. So everything is dry. I did add 2 dark blue, sapphire blue like the hat, stones for earrings. And then I had another one in the right color. So I put that around her neck. And the eyelashes are pretty good. Everything is dried on there. The hat's dried. I put the bow on, and then I put UV resin to hold these sides down while it was drying. It is so adorable. Rita, I hope you love it. She's so super cute. Got a lot of personality in that cute little face. And that's it, you guys. Thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate everybody that comes in to watch Glitz and Glitter. Hope you like it here. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Let's work our way to the 50,000 giveaway. I know we're far away, but with your help, we can get there a lot faster, and we're going to have a ton of molds to give away like we did on the 40K. So with that said, make sure if you want to come, I don't know if you guys missed the video or all of the little posts that we are putting out. Our Christmas party is open to whoever wants to travel to Florida. I have a beautiful space rented, a gorgeous ballroom at a country club. It is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous night. We're going to have dinner, we're going to have dancing, we're going to have gifts and prizes galore. It's going to be amazing. So tickets are on sale. I will put that link in the description box. So make sure you get yours. Don't wait too long because I have to give them a final count soon. So please don't wait. I'm going to have to cut it off. I'm not sure when I'm going to cut it off, but when they ask me for the down payment, that's when I'm going to cut it off. So far they're letting me slide to see how much interest I have. But being in December, they're going to need an answer very quickly. So if you have not gotten your ticket, get your ticket. I would love to meet all of you. Don would love to meet all of you. We're going to have so much fun to meet in person and have a good time for several hours. So make sure you do that. Click on that in the link below. Get your ticket. Come and join us. It's a Sunday from 4 o'clock to 8 p.m. That way, if you're traveling, you can still travel back home. Or if you want to hang out for the weekend in Florida, that'd be great too. Anyway, stick around for those pictures, guys. I will see you tomorrow at 6. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye.
Glitz and glitter paint her way. She lights up hearts come what may. With a brush of faith she starts. Jesus whispers through her art. Patience blooms in every hue. Her love for viewers shines so true. Shimmer sparkles in her eyes. A radiant soul under bright skies. Glitz and glitter, Michelle, a story. Her colors tell faith and love in every part. Jesus guides her shining heart. Sparkly streams, her laughter flows like sunlit beams. With each stroke her spirit sings, a masterpiece of golden wings. She sprinkles joy like morning dew, in every shade a promise new. A life of love, a life of grace, in her art we see his face. Glitz and glitter, Michelle, a story. Colors tell faith and love in every part. Jesus guides her shining